What? Wow. Bless you. Words are words. What am I talking about? What is wrong with this? What am I talking about today?
Beautiful, beautiful life.
All right.
Hey Lingoni lovies, welcome back to Lingoni English. My name's Brian.
And I'm Emily.
And in this video, we're going to give you 10 tips for improving your writing. Let's take a look.
Now this first tip might be a little surprising. Do you want to tell him what it is, Brian?
Sure thing. So our first recommendation is to read more. When you're reading, you're getting the input. You're seeing how you can use words, the structures that they can be in, and you're learning more vocabulary. Although writing can be more difficult than reading because you're producing the words yourself, reading helps you see what you can model your own writing after.
The second tip is to increase your vocabulary. And this goes for beginners as well as advanced speakers. There are tons of different words in every language you could use for the same position in a sentence. So try switching them out or try practicing more advanced vocabulary to make your writing improve even more.
Another way to improve in your writing is to practice spelling. Now, we don't always have our phones or computers on hand when we need to write something out by hand. And in these cases, it's really important to know how to spell a word or how to write a symbol in Chinese, for example. One of the best ways of practicing this is by simply taking paper and writing out words that you might have a difficult time with. There are also different apps that help teach you words with spaced repetition for learning Chinese, for example, or Japanese that uses advanced characters as well.
Also, don't forget, when you're writing, of course, grammar is key, which is number 4. Practice your grammar. Anytime you learn a new grammatical concept, really take the time to practice it. Come up with sentences of your own using that grammatical concept. That will help you, when you're writing, change up your sentences and have variety in whatever you're trying to say.
Tip number 5 is to use the target language as much as possible, even in things like texting or in emails. So if you have a friend who speaks more than one language, and maybe you talk to them in your mother tongue sometimes, it can be really useful to switch it up a bit if they also speak your target language. So go ahead and send them a text in what you're learning.
Also, whenever we're talking about emails, keep in mind there are formal and informal emails. So practice writing both of those styles because eventually you will need to be able to do that in your target language. That brings us to point number 6, write in a journal. This is one of my personal favorites because you'll cover so many different types of writing that you're actually only writing to yourself. So if you have a good day, you might be very descriptive in your writing and very positive. If you have a bad day or you're mad, you're going to write very differently. Keep in mind that it's not about writing perfectly. It's more about flow and being able to connect your emotions with your target language.
Next up, point number 7 is to practice writing summaries. So this could be something you also do in your journal just for some practice. I often journal just before bed, and this is a nice time where you're relaxing and you're taking a moment to just reflect on the day. So when you're writing your journal, you're summarizing what you did during the day, but you could also summarize things like a movie you watched or a news article that you read. This helps test your knowledge to see, okay, did I really understand it well? And you're reproducing vocab and grammar structures that you might not otherwise write in your journal if you're just talking about your daily life.
Also, if you feel comfortable, why don't you show one of these summaries, maybe about a movie you watched, to a native speaker, let them correct it, and rewrite it again. So you see your mistakes, you find out why you made those mistakes, and you correct it. That brings us to point number 8. If you can, find a tutor, a teacher, or even just a native speaker to show your writing to. You can write all day long, but if you don't know that you're making mistakes, you won't really be able to improve. So be on the lookout for people who can help and don't mind telling you what you've done wrong so that you can write better tomorrow than you did today.
The next one might seem a little bit outdated, but it still applies today. Writing in chat rooms or on online forums can help you find topics that you're really interested in that you can write about back and forth with other speakers of your target language and maybe even native speakers too. So using a website like Reddit, for example, can help you do this. You could also go ahead and get a pen pal. You can just write to each other emails if you'd like, but it can be really cool to actually go ahead, get a piece of paper, write a letter, and send it in the mail. It's an exciting thing to get back and forth, and it is sort of like a cultural exchange that you have too.
And finally, tip number 10, just do it. Although writing might seem like the hardest skill, it is necessary because that is the skill that brings all of the other skills together. That is the skill that really shows where you're at in your fluency. So don't do too much at one time. Take it easy, stay positive, and just keep doing it. Eventually, it will be easier. So those were 10 different ways to improve your writing in your target language. If you have some of your own ideas, go ahead and write those in the comments below. We love to read what you write.
Thanks for watching Lingoni English. Don't forget to check out our app at lingoni.com. There we have all kinds of interactive exercises, worksheets, podcasts, speaking practice, and more to help you improve your English. See you there!